Hey friends, it is Sarah from Midway for Your Garden, and it is July 4th, and I know it's a little early, I think, for some people, but we are in a zone 6A, and today is definitely garlic harvest day. We could probably leave them for another week or so, but it's supposed to rain most of this next week, and I'm just a little worried that they're gonna split, and they're definitely ready now. So what do I look for? This is a little bit of a mixed up bed, so there's a few different things in here. Let's see if we can get a better shot of just the garlic. So what I'm looking for is, you can see here that we have 1, 2, 3 very, very brown leaves. And then the tips of all of these are really starting to brown off. And it's been about, so this is a hardneck variety of garlic. So we did have garlic scapes, and it's been about 4 weeks since we pulled the garlic scapes. So this is definitely ready to come out. We do have cucumbers along the edge here, so we have to try and be careful with them. And then we do have some carrots here. I have a feeling that some of these are just gonna get pulled out as we're getting this garlic out. But I'm very excited. So this section on this side is all music garlic that I got, new seed garlic this year. This row along here is just our garlic from last year, and then over on that end we have some German white. And I probably will not really put them in piles based on their type, so next year we're just gonna plant whatever was the biggest this year. I have pulled a few cloves. I pulled a few cloves that were here, and they're everywhere from medium size to ginormous. So you know, I think they're gonna be all different sizes, and that's okay. We'll use them for different things. So I usually just grab and pull and see if I can get them out. It did rain this morning. It wasn't supposed to rain until tomorrow. So they may be a little muddy, but we're just gonna get in here and see what we get. So first, we're actually just gonna start right here on the edge. This one should be pretty small, and this is one of the music garlics from last year. If they don't come really easily, we're gonna get our trowel. So hold on a sec. All right, we've got our trowel. We're gonna try again. If you pull too hard, you will just pop the stems off, and then they will not cure. They're still fine for eating, but you cannot keep them for long-term storage if you do that. So we are just gonna use our tools. All right, so these are some of the ones from ours, and I do expect these to be pretty small. None of them look like they got particularly huge. But we're just gonna make a pile and keep going. Yeah, these ones are pretty small. All right, friends, so these are the ones from our seed garlic from last year, and this is why I bought new seed garlic, because these are not huge. They're definitely worthwhile. We're definitely gonna keep them, but they're just not quite as big as you might like. You know, they're medium-ish size. So I do think that some of the ones that we got from other seed garlic are gonna be bigger than that. There are some that are that size, but many of them are much bigger than that. So let's see if we can move you in where we can see these just a little bit better. There's a tomato plant there. Maybe we'll start from this side. Okay, now I can usually tell the fatter stems are gonna have bigger bulbs, and these skinnier stems are gonna have smaller bulbs. and that's okay. So just a little medium-sized bulb, nothing super exciting. And then this one should be, yeah, much bigger. So that's really ideal. And there are going to be a decent number of them that are pretty big like that. So after we get all of these out, we are going to cure them. And that really just means putting them someplace with good ventilation, out of direct sunlight. We store them in the garage, but any place that you've got that is well ventilated and out of direct sunlight. They're not quite as fussy as things like sweet potatoes. They'll cure, again, kind of any place that you can keep them out of the rain and out of direct sunlight. And you just wait until this fully dries. And then you can cut them and store them, you know, cut them here, clean them up, and you can store them. These are hard neck varieties, so in theory they don't store as well as the soft neck varieties, which you can store all the way through till next season. I find that I usually get them storing until, I don't know, well into this spring. I think this year I kind of gave up in maybe March and freeze dried them and just made them into garlic powder. But they probably would have lasted a little bit longer than that. Yeah, some of them, and you can tell by just this really thin stalk, some of them are just a little smaller. So those ones will be good for eating, but we won't use them for seed garlic. So I think this is that German white variety. But a number of them are quite large. Okay, so don't do that. That's what I was talking about. This one I can now use the trowel to dig up, but I am not going to be able to store this one for any length of time. All right. So unlike sweet potatoes, these don't need to cure for flavor. They just cure for storage. So this will be perfectly fine to eat. We'll just have to eat it in the next week or so. No idea what happened in there. Those are teeny tiny. They may have just been left over from last year's garlic harvest. All right, we'll show you when we get over to the music garlic. All right, friends, this is what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 that we accidentally decapitated. So we'll use those ones up first. These are the ones from the garlic that we saved from last year. They are a bit on the small side. These are the ones that are the German white. They are mostly pretty large, but a few sort of medium sized and smaller. And then these are the music garlic, and they are huge and happy and beautiful and wonderful, which is why I've grown that in the past. And this is probably what we will save for seed garlic next year. And then we do not have a real fancy situation for curing. We just kind of pile them up in a pile in the garage. So I'll show you that in a minute. All right, friends, this is our very unprofessional. We just threw them in a basket. There's a few over there, the early ones that we picked. And that is absolutely enough garlic to last us at least a year. Over 100 fairly large bulbs of garlic. I'm really excited. This is a great harvest. This is a great year for garlic. And we'll see you next time around.